We're talking Ball State, Don Shondell and Ray McCallum talking Ball State, Nate Davis and Bonzi Wells, Schumann, Belltower and Worthen, Fans Oliver from Muncie to Berlin, getting Cannons, Carters and Greeks.
All right, everybody out there in Cardinal land, welcome to Ball State of the Union, your number one Ball State football podcast by the fans, for the fans. We're talking current headlines, exclusive interviews with Cardinal athletes and coaches, and fun off-the-wall debates like you saw last week that you won't see anywhere else. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us on all of your favorite social media platforms. And as always, boys, remember, we're talking Ball State. Joined this week again by David, who is at BSU Edits on Instagram, and as always, Colin, Ball State Football Talk on Twitter. Boys, I'm not in the Ball State of the Union studios this week. I am sitting in downtown Columbus, Ohio, in a hotel room, but Ball State of the Union does not stop for my travel, so we are here once again. Guys, how are we feeling this week? How was the response to the episode last week? And kind of what did you have any other thoughts since that episode's ended about maybe where things will be a whole decade from now? Colin, let's start with you.
Response was pretty good. Feedback felt like people were positive. I haven't had any more serious contemplation on the next 10 years, just really thinking ahead to Purdue, hoping we get this W. But I was happy with the podcast, and I think others were as well. Reception was good.
David?
Yeah.
This is your first appearance on the show.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Great. Good reception. Definitely got a little bit of buzz out of the specialist punter kicker use situation.
Sure.
But definitely just nothing more on the 10 years, but I'm really excited for Purdue.
Okay, perfect. We'll get to Purdue in a minute. And so, as you can see by the title of this episode, this is going to be our season predictions. We're going to be looking at who we think some of the best players are going to be, maybe some people that we aren't thinking about right now who later on the year are going to become some impact players for Ball State. Win totals, maybe where we stand in the MAC, all kinds of that. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But I had a little bit of a surprise unannounced trip to Muncie this weekend, boys. I know you guys saw, I was texting you on the side, but got down to Muncie, got up to Schumann Stadium, and maybe for the first time in the history of the stadium, it was actually closed. So I was ready to get out on the 50-yard line. I was going to take a couple videos, but alas, I was thwarted. All the gates were locked up. So maybe they didn't know I was coming, and they weren't going to let me in there. But went there, and it was kind of strange. Every single door on campus that I tried to go into was locked. The rec center was locked, Worthen Arena was locked. Pretty much everywhere was locked. In the first 30 minutes I was there walking around campus, I didn't see a soul. So I don't know if it's just a weird time in the summer schedule where there's nobody there, but it was good to be back on campus and kind of walking around. And every time you go there, you know, it seems like there's 1 to 2 new buildings that you hadn't seen since you've been there the last time. So I'm getting old now where I can go there and say, oh, well, this was a field when I was there, and this was a dorm, and none of this was there. So I get to be that back in my day guy now. So I know, Colin, you were there for the spring game, but David, when is the last time you were up on campus?
Oh, it's been a minute, actually. The last time I was on campus was for the Indiana State game.
Oh, okay.
So it's definitely been a minute, but I miss it a lot. Can't wait to get back hopefully this year.
That's right. And a little off campus, I got the Puerto Vallarta meal, which is my favorite Mexican restaurant ever. So anyone listening to this, if you have a different favorite Muncie restaurant, let us know. I want to know what it is. I'm sure we've probably been to them. Colin, I know we've done the Ball State draft. You picked your places, but David, you're newer to the show. What is maybe your number one Muncie restaurant?
Oh, Pizza King for sure.
Pizza King
Okay. Is my move for sure.
Okay. Yeah. See, now I'm from the central part of the state, so that's wherever the Pizza King divide happens, because there's Pizza King in like central Indiana, like Indianapolis area, and then up Muncie and north there's Pizza King, but they're like 2 different things. They're the same, but they're different. So I prefer the one where I'm from, but I can understand you love that Pizza King.
Yeah, the one in Yorktown is where to go to for sure.
Okay, all right, perfect. All right, boys. Well, when we're posting this, we're going to be posting this on Wednesday, July 30th. That is actually the first day of fall football practice. So basically, the 2025 season is getting underway today. We still have a few weeks before we're actually going to have our first game, but really today is where football season starts. So, David, let's start with you. General vibe check. Where are you at with Ball State football right now on this first day of fall practice?
I'm optimistic. I it feels like a nice fresh start, restart, new head coach, new staff almost pretty much. And I'm really excited for that. It's a nice clean slate. I haven't been this happy for a new Ball State season in a really long time.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. A refreshing start is a perfect way to put it. So many new, obviously, new coaching staff, so many new players. Colin, you're always the optimistic when it comes to how the seasons are going to go. Vibe check for you, Colin. Where are you at for Ball State football as of today? Oh, no, he's frozen.
He's just totally frozen.
He's frozen. Oh, no. All right, Colin. We'll get back to Colin here in a little bit whenever he's unfrozen. But I'm sure Colin is optimistic. We'll remember to jump back in there. So before we kind of move on to some of the predictions we have, I just want to do a little recap. If we have any new viewers or maybe just like people who aren't as locked into Ball State football as us, kind of give you a recap of what's happened since we last played a game. Obviously, Mike New out after 8 seasons, and we replaced him with Coach Mike Uremovich. Big, crazy transfer portal season. We lose quarterback Caden Samanza, Tanner Koziel, bunch of people. Surprise return, though, Kyle Kelly is back, and I'm sure we'll probably mention Kyle Kelly a little bit more as this goes on. But yeah, lots of turnover, lots of replenishment through the transfer portal. And so with that said, David, let's kind of kick into some predictions here. We'll start with who we think is going to be the best offensive player for the Ball State Cardinals in 2025. So, David, I'll give you the floor first. Who is your offensive MVP going to be for 2025?
Yeah, you just said his name. It's Kyle Kelly. I think it's definitely going to be him. Him coming back is a big return. I don't think he's going to turn over the ball much. He knows what he's doing. I'm excited for him. It's his year and it's his time.
Yeah, and I'm interested. All right, let's see. Hold on a second. Is he back?
There we go.
Colin, can you hear us?
Stay on to shut me down. I'm back, John.
He's back. He's back. All right, hey, we didn't get too far without you. We started in the offensive player who we think is the best offensive player. David is saying he's going with Kyle Kelly, and I think you're already frozen again. So Colin is instantly frozen again. So yeah, Kyle Kelly, great pick, and that's probably the number one storyline that most people who are Ball State fans are looking at this year is what Kyle Kelly are we going to be able to expect? Obviously, we saw good things the second half of the season a couple of years back. For whatever reason, wasn't able to beat out Caden Samanza last year, and just kind of had what I told him when we interviewed him was it seemed like fairly not very creative situations where he did get to come in. He only had a handful of plays each game last year. It always was pretty obviously going to be a run, and so I'm excited to see where he has a little bit more time back there of what he's going to be able to do. So I think that's a great pick. Colin, before you freeze up on us again, who is your offensive MVP for the season going to be?
Okay, Kyle Kelly.
That's all we needed.
All right. What?
Weatherly. Those are my picks.
I did. We heard Kyle Kelly and who else?
Quay Ashley.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, that's a great one.
Perfect. And that goes perfectly into my pick because that's who my offensive MVP is going to be actually, is running back Quay Ashley. For those who aren't familiar with him, he's a transfer in from Kennesaw State, and he's actually a preseason first-team all-conference kick returner and third-team all-conference running back in the preseason. I believe by All Thon Sports. And Phil Steele's is fairly similar, but big-time explosive play guy. Obviously, he was like the National Kick Returner of the Year last year. With Kennesaw State. And I think in Coach Uremovich's run-heavy offense, we're going to see these running backs. And a lot of these guys have a lot of speed. The little bit I did see so far from yesterday at Media Day was talking about the speed of these guys. And And I think he's going to be the fastest, most explosive one of all of them. He's going to have big playability. It could be a touchdown every time he touches the ball. So I'm excited to see him. He's the name that I've been the most excited for. There's a couple other people I'm sure that we can mention as well. I don't want to take anything away in case we're going to mention them later on. But so basically, Kyle Kelly and Quay Ashley seem to be the consensus among the three of us. That's going to be kind of maybe the offensive MVPs for this year. So I think most people would agree with that. Colin, while we have you, it seems like you have a little bit better of a connection now.
Yeah, I think it might have just been the spot in my basement I was at.
Okay. All right. You sound good now. Let's talk defense. Who you got as your defensive MVP for the 2025 Ball State Cardinals?
Defense. Darren Conley, maybe.
Okay.
They're giving him a lot of press. I could see the DN Nathan Voorhees. I could see him popping. That's where I'll start right now.
All right. David, what about you?
I think it's definitely going to be Roman Pearson.
Okay.
I think he's just going to step up. I mean, I watched a bit of his highlights when he transferred in. I don't know. I need to look back at it a little bit more on defense, but Roman Pearson, I think, is the guy. 4 interceptions is what I'm going for. I think he had 2 last year.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I'm going to go with that.
Excuse me. Defense is definitely a hard one to pick because, as much as respectfully as I can put it, our defense was very bad last year. And so really finding any holdovers from that, who we really think are going to be like awesome players, who knows? And everyone who transfers in, it's always hard to tell on defense, especially. But I'm going to go with Joey Stimler, second team all conference preseason for the MAC. He is a returner. So if for some reason someone's going to be able to pick up on things quicker, I think it might be him since it's the same defensive coordinator, Jeff Knowles, coming back. So I think he's going to be leader on the field. And I think he's going to be an even better playmaker throughout the season. So, and really, like I said, they really can only go up from where they were defensively last year. So Joey Stimler is who I have pegged right now as my defensive MVP. I like Nathan Voorhees as well. Avery Stewart, is that the defensive back from Kentucky? That's another name that I was looking at, but I think I'm gonna go with Joey Stimler. Okay, so we've said a handful of people so far. Who are some people that maybe we haven't mentioned yet that we could see some big time star power from throughout the season? So it could be transfer in, it could be someone who's returning from last year, it could be a freshman. Colin, who is a star that we aren't expecting as of right now?
I think we, as in us three, are expecting this, but I would say Eric Weatherly is someone we haven't mentioned that's going to be a star. And then on the defensive side, I'd say Caden Smoke Johnson is another backer that's primed to pop this year.
Okay. Yeah. I believe it's Caden's dad. He's pretty active on social media. He's a fan of the show. So shout out to Caden's dad. Yeah, David, who is maybe someone we're not expecting or not talking about much right now, who you think could be an impact player, a star for us throughout this season?
I had the similar situation. I put Eric Weatherly. He's only 5'8", but in a weird way, it kind of reminds me of Jameel Smith. I think that we're going to utilize him really well, and I think he's been underutilized for a lot of his playing career.
Yeah, Eric Weatherly was the first name that popped into my mind, but I was fairly confident at least one of the two of you was going to pick him, so I made sure to pick somebody else here. I'm not going from the transfer portal. I'm going straight freshman here. I'm going freshman linebacker Lucas Szymborski. Now, the reason I'm going with Lucas here is because he is just an overall beast of an athlete. So if you're not familiar with Lucas, he was a 2-time state champion wrestler, and he was a defensive anchor for Crown Point High School's 6A state championship runner-up run. So he's just a winner overall in anything he ever does. Very physical athlete, obviously being a wrestler that good. And so I think someone who has that type of athletic ability and you're putting them out there to play in the MAC, I think he's going to shine in the chances that he does get. I guess I don't really know how much he's going to get a chance to play right away. But I think the more and more the year goes on, someone who has that athletic ability at this level, I think he's going to shine and you're going to be able to see him on the field. So Lucas Szymborski, freshman linebacker. He's originally from Tennessee, but then ended up at Crown Point. So that is my star that we're really not talking about right now.
Okay.
I thought that was a pretty good pick myself. I
That
dug
is.
into the his dad is a friend of the show. Man, we're all the dads out there. If you're a dad out there and you're a friend of the show, let us know.
Subscribe.
Yeah, that's right. Subscribe
Immediately
and
if you're a
keep
dad of a player.
keeping it a friend of the show. So let's look at the schedule a little bit here. I want you guys to tell me 3 games here. Maybe we'll start. We'll go one by one here. There's 3 games I want to hear. I want to hear the biggest test we're going to have, a trap game, and a must-win game. So I'll start myself. I'm going to with the biggest test of the season. I think our biggest test of the season is going to be the game against Ohio, the first MAC game. The reason I'm saying that is because coming out of the non-conference schedule, you're going to play 2 Power 5 schools, Power 4 schools, whatever you call them now, in Purdue and Auburn. Then you're going to play an FCS team in New Hampshire, and then you're going to play UConn. UConn, I guess, would be the most MAC-like team. So you're not really going to have a very good gauge, in my opinion, through 4 weeks of where you're going to be in the MAC. So I think when we get to play Ohio, that first MAC game, a very good MAC team, that's going to be our biggest test to really see where we are going throughout the rest of the season into MAC play. David, what do you think the biggest test is this year for the Ball State Cardinals?
I think it's going to be UConn. They're a tough team last year. I think that they're going to continue to be like that this year. We'll see how we are the first few games of the season, but going to Connecticut, it's a big road test for something similar play for the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm. I actually have UConn listed for another one of these games, but not for the biggest test. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Colin, biggest test for Ball State this year?
Yeah, biggest test this year. I'm going to take the easy route and just say Auburn. Probably the best team that we're going to have to play this year. And I'm not necessarily expecting us to go in there and win per se, but we need to go in there and compete, show that we belong. And then, I think if we have some positive momentum coming out of that game, the rest of the season could be downhill from there.
Okay. Yeah, because, Purdue picked to finish last in the Big Ten. It's still a step up in talent from where we're at. Auburn not supposed to be as good as they usually are, but obviously still a big step up in talent from what we have. And so I can see where that would be, the biggest test, just because it's going to be the biggest talent gap theoretically on the schedule. Okay, trap game. Colin, I'll kick it back to you. What is a trap game on the Ball State Cardinals schedule this year?
Listen, Kent State wants to be the trap game so bad, but they're so terrible. I refuse to let them be the trap game. My trap game, I'm going to go Akron, who was surprisingly decent last year. Just watching and looking into some of the, what teams did last year. I saw that they had beaten Toledo. They ended the year on a 2-game win streak as well. They beat Kent State, then they beat Toledo. So I think trap game, I'm going to go Akron. They had 4 wins last year. We know them as being like the second worst team in the MAC. I'm going to say that's trap game this year.
Trap game, okay. David, do you dare leave Kent State off the board here again, or where are you going?
Yeah, so I'm going straight to New Hampshire, actually.
Okay.
I am genuinely kind of worried. We've lost to them already before. We're 0-1 all time against them. I'm not overlooking them, and I don't want that again. We're already playing Auburn. Just play them like it's Auburn. Hope for a better result this time.
Yeah, we have lost to FCS teams before, so that would not be, out of the realm of possibility. So I can't believe no one took Kent State. That was what I picked. I circled right away. Kent State, that one midweek game we have, the midweek games are always crazy. It doesn't matter who you are, how good you are in the MAC, how bad you are in the MAC. When the action comes, you're under the lights, and it's Tuesday or Wednesday night. Anybody can beat anybody. And you guys all saw that awesome clip or that awesome picture the other day, the YouTube comment that was floating around on social media. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was like talking down on the SEC because they have it so easy, and then you haven't really played football until you're playing in front of 14 fans and a raccoon and the stadium's on fire and all kinds of crazy stuff with the Maction. But yeah, that's mine. Anybody can beat anybody in Maction. So Kent State is mine. All right. Let's see. David, you haven't kicked off the category yet. We'll have you kick this one off. What's the must-win game, in your opinion, on Ball State's schedule for this year?
Oh man, must win game. I think it's got to be Miami of Ohio. I think
Okay.
it could come down to it whether we're, going into that one looking to get bowl eligibility. Are we right on that line? I think it's going to be a big one. We haven't won, or had great success against them in recent times. So getting that trophy would be really big. So I think that's a must-win game this year is final week against Miami.
Yeah, the Redbird Rivalry Trophy never seems to make its way to Muncie like the Bronze Cornstalk does nowadays. So, Colin, the must-win on your schedule.
Must win for me personally is Kent State. I refuse to lose to Kent State. New Hampshire might beat Kent State head to head. Honestly. So I just think like if we want to get the momentum rolling forward, you don't lose to the team that might come out of the season with no wins. So that's my must-win game.
I have two, but I'll pick one. The must-win game of the season is against Northern Illinois. This might be the last time we play them in a long time. We had the Bronze Cornstalk. We've had their number for the past few years after they had our number forever. We cannot go out with a loss to Northern Illinois. And I told Mike Uremovich that to his face virtually when we interviewed him a few months back. We cannot. The must-win game is against Northern Illinois. We need to keep that trophy for the foreseeable future. My other must-win was UConn. I think if we can go 2-2 through the non-conference, that we have a really good chance to do something special this year. So, but yeah, Northern Illinois. Okay, we're still in the schedule here. Where does the momentum swing this season, whether in a good way or a bad way? I'll start us off for this one. I think if we can come out of the Western Michigan game, so we have the 4 non-conference games, we play Ohio and then at Western Michigan. If we can come out of that stretch 3-3 or better, I think the momentum and the rest of the schedule that we have at that point, you would have Akron, you have Kent State, you'd have Eastern Michigan, which are all 3 very winnable games. I think if you can come out of that stretch 3-3, you have a very, very good chance of going to a bowl this year. Now, I don't necessarily know that we're going to go to a bowl game, but if you can get out of that stretch 3-3, you put yourself in a very good position to get to one. David, if the momentum's going to swing in a good way or a bad way this year, where does it happen?
I think it's going to be the Western Michigan game. If we go into that already with a rough record, I don't know how we make it out with a bowl game. And that's going to be kind of a must-win, set the tone. We're going to keep winning through MAC play.
Okay. I like it. I agree totally. Colin, what about you?
Yeah, I hate to just tag along on the bandwagon, but I'm also thinking probably Western Michigan. If not that game, then the Ohio game, just early. Ohio doesn't have the coach back, but they're still a great team. If we win the Ohio game, I think it could like propel us towards bowling. There's a couple games that like could literally shoot us off. The Purdue game, the UConn game, and the Ohio game. If we take care of business at any of those games and get a surprise win, I think that could shoot us in the right direction.
Okay. Before we kind of move on, does anyone have anything else on just anything that you notice from the schedule that you like or don't like?
I like that we have a lot more Saturday games this year.
Good.
I think that people are going to be tailgating a lot more, and not everyone makes it in from tailgating into the stadium. But I think you weren't going to see that on a Tuesday. You have a way better chance of doing that on a Saturday.
Yeah, because we only have the one midweek game. It is at home, but we only have the one midweek game. So, Colin, anything else from you?
Yeah, nothing really. I mean, the midweek game is Kent State, so it's kind of like, it's a nice, relaxing game. It's kind of like half a game for the players. We're getting out with like less wear and tear on our bodies. Hopefully the guys get rest all the fourth quarter. I know last year was was something else. Like it was such a back and forth game, and we were up the whole time, but they kept clawing and fighting and coming back. And I just think they're worse than they were last year. And last year they were pretty bad already. So I mean, like I said earlier in the season, this is the perfect game. If you got a bar by the house, you don't have to listen to the game. You're pretty comfortable knowing what's going on. Just make sure your local watering hole has the TV. You get the remote. Just sit down, relax. Like I'm pretty excited for that game, and I think it should be a nice casual watch. We don't get a lot of those as Ball State fans. I don't get to feel like Ohio State or Georgia or Alabama fan any of the time of the year, except for when I'm playing Kent State. So you know what? Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever that day is, I'm going to make sure I have the day off, relax, have a hot cup of tea, make sure my digestion's right. I don't want to miss any of it, So, yeah, I'm really excited for that game.
Any Kent State fans listening, please send hate mail to @BallStateFB Talk on Twitter. So, okay, let's talk a little win total prediction here. Put out a graphic the other day. The over-under that I saw, it's kind of different in some spots, but the over-under that I saw set was 3.5 games. Is anybody taking the under on that?
No.
Everyone's taking the over, correct?
Yeah.
Over 3.5 games. Okay.
Yeah.
I am as well. David, what is Ball State's record in 2025?
8-4. That's where I'm at with it. Before we go bowling, I'm going 8-4, but that starts with a win at Purdue. You got to start there, and that's the only way to get there.
Okay. 8-4. I like it. Okay, Colin. I think you were at 6-6 a little while back. Where are you at now?
Yeah. If anybody watched the way too early season prediction, I picked us to lose Purdue, win Ohio on the way to 6-6. I'm going to switch that. I got us beating Purdue, beating New Hampshire, beating Kent State, Akron, Eastern Michigan, and then that 6th win, probably Western Michigan. So I got us going 6-6 and 4-4 in the MAC.
Okay. 6-6, 4-4 the MAC. So you guys both have us going bowling. I believe in the way too early season prediction that we did way back when. I think I had us at 5-7. Unfortunately, I'm going to sit at 5-7 again. But I'll give that with 2 reasons / caveats. Number one, in my personal opinion, it is impossibly difficult in this day and age of college football for Ball State specifically to accurately, in my opinion, predict how the season's going to go. Because, one, you have new players every single year now. You really don't know what you have for the most part. And 2, this year especially, we have a whole new coaching staff. So that's going to take some time to get in. Now, with that 5-7 comment, I do believe we're going to look exponentially better by the end of the season than we are at the start of the season. I think the start of the season, we're going to have – there's a pretty hard non-conference schedule. Even though maybe some of those aren't the best non-conference teams that are playing, it's still a pretty hard schedule. I think as the year goes on, they're going to look better and better. And by the end of the year, I think they're going to look much better than they do at the beginning of the year. So, okay. This is an interesting kind of question. I guess I don't even know how to pose it now. But basically, if this happens, ... question. So I'll start it since I kind of know. Like I said it earlier, if we go – we got another cat on the screen. So David had a cat last week. Colin's got one this week. In 2 weeks, when I'm back home for the show, I'll have my cat on. If this happens, ... If we go, I said this earlier, if we go 3-3 in the first 6 games, I think we're going to make a bowl. So that's my if this happens. Colin, do you have an if this happens scenario?
Yeah, I'm just going to start it with the first game of the season. I think it's as simple as if we win the first game of the season against Purdue, we make a bowl game.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to have to steal – you're going to have to steal some non-conference games, I think, for those 6 wins that happen. David, what about you?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the exact same thing, but if we can make it 3-1 out of conference and make sure we handle Purdue, make sure we handle UConn, I think we can get ourselves to a bowl game.
Okay. Yeah. If you have them going 3-1 in this non-conference, 8-4 is not out of the realm of possibility at all. So let's talk to MAC now. MAC West. They win in the MAC West. They get in last in the MAC West. Where do you guys see, Colin, where we stand in the MAC West?
Yeah. So I don't remember off the top of my head who Is Mac West Toledo and Miami? And remind me
Well, I
who's
think
in
it
Mac Wester.
did it change some this year with UMass coming
It
in.
did.
Yeah, so it's the Michigan schools. Is UMass actually in the Mac West?
I don't believe so.
I can't remember who's where, but so conference. Like, do you see this team winning their division basically, or do you think they're going to be more middle tier or kind of in the bottom?
So I went through. This is crazy because this is just the type of weird person I am. I went through every MAC school's schedule and wrote down what games were going to be a win. The only one I didn't have to do was Kent State because they were just all losses. But I went through every single team's schedule and did it. So my top 6 in the MAC is Toledo at 1, Miami at 2, Ohio at 3, Buffalo at 4, NIU at 5, Bowling Green at 6, but with the same record as Ball State at 7.
Okay.
So I got us kind of in the middle somewhere. I think we do good. We do take a couple lumps. It's Coach U's first year. I think I got us 6-6 and number 7 out of 13 in the MAC.
Okay, that's about where I'm at. I'm about a middle tier MAC team. David, what about you?
I'm pretty middle to high. I think maybe our ceiling's like 4th. That's right around where we're at.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, yeah. If we got 8 and 4, it's got to be definitely in the upper echelon of where teams are going to fall in that. So, come November, Halloween comes. Everyone does their trick or treating. It's November 1st now. Is Ball State still realistically in the running to make the MAC championship? David, what do you think?
If we've won all those fourth quarter battles, we handled UConn. I'm thinking maybe and when I say beat UConn, I'm thinking we do that. I think it helps us, with Ohio, Western Michigan, just getting ready for that. I think if we start out with Ohio and Western Michigan as wins, then yeah.
Okay. Colin, what about you?
I'm going to say no, John. I hate to be a buzzkill, but Ohio, I still think is really good. They're returning that quarterback there. Remind me of his name. Parker Navarro.
Mm-hmm.
Parker Navarro, he's a dog. I think he's a top 3 quarterback in the MAC. He's one of the best quarterbacks. I think one of the 25, 30 best quarterbacks in all of college football. So, yeah, I think it's going to be tough to win that. I think we beat Western Michigan. So, honestly, I'm going to say no, though. I don't think we are going to be. You said Halloween, right? October 30th to like November.
Yeah, so once November comes around.
Yeah.
I think the answer is no as well. But like I said earlier, I think this team will get a lot better as the year goes on. So even though they really might not have a chance to make that MAC championship run, I think they're going to look a lot better at the end of this year and going to look a lot better going into next year. So I think this is basically a rebuilding season more than a MAC title season. I think Colin agrees. And I think, David, for the most part, you would probably agree with that as well, but you're a little bit more optimistic on where you think they might have a chance to end up. I think they're more of a rebuilding season with the potential of a low-end bowl game. So I think we're all kind of in agreement for the most part on that. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. David, I want you to go get your lovely lady real quick and tell her I need a hot take.
Gotcha.
So we're going to do some hot takes here. We're going to have hot takes. You guys may have seen David's girlfriend on social media. I'll have her introduce herself. She's a big Ball State fan as well. We're going to do hot takes here. And I want you all in the comments down below on wherever you're watching this. I want hot takes from everybody. I want the hottest of hot takes that you have. So once David comes back, we will get into the hot takes. But Colin, I'm interested to see what you and what the fans out there have to say, because I think this is a good, generally optimistic time for Ball State football. Is it going to end, with tons and tons of wins? Probably not. But I think most people see Ball State with Coach Uremovich as a team with an upward trajectory now, not necessarily a stagnant or a downward trajectory. So I'm excited to see what people's hot takes are here.
I got a hot take, John. By the end of week 1, after week 1, Ball State of the Union is going to have over 200 subscribers.
Oh, okay. That's a challenge to all the fans out there. I believe as of right now, we're sitting at 170. So I think that is a very good take. I think we can get to that pretty easily. So everyone, if you have not already, be sure to subscribe to Ball State of the Union on YouTube because we want to hit those numbers. And Colin, I think soon, once we start hitting some milestones throughout the season, I think we should start doing some giveaways. I don't know what I'm going to give away yet. Maybe I'll give away some tickets to a game. Maybe I'll give away some memorabilia that I have. Maybe if our friends at Game Day Spirit want to work with us, maybe we'll give away gift cards, something.
Yeah.
But everyone subscribe out there. Oh boy, here she is.
Hi.
The legend.
This was just sprung upon me. So I'm here to give a hot take.
Yeah, I want to hear some hot takes. So what is your name exactly?
My name's Kylie.
Kylie. So we see Kylie on social media. She will get into it about Ball State football. She loves Ball State football. Let's get a hot take from you. I want to hear a hot take. What do you think is a hot take for the 2025 season?
I think Quay Ashley is going to break the record for kick returns for touchdowns.
Oh, that is a great hot take. That is a great hot take. Colin and I both had him as our offensive MVPs, so I like to hear that.
Nice. Okay.
That is a great hot take.
What about
David?
the record this year?
Huh?
Ask her what's the record this year?
What's the record for like the single season? I'm not sure.
No. What's Ball State's record?
Oh, what do you think Ball State's record is going to be this year?
I think it's going to be 7-5.
7-5. Okay. I don't think we had a 7-5. We had a 5-7. We had a 6-6. We had an 8-4. So we've got all four of those covered now. So those are great hot takes.
Okay. Awesome.
Perfect. Well, I want some more later on. Okay. In some other episodes coming up, I'm going to have you back on for more hot takes.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Perfect.
Thank you.
All right, David.
No.
Yeah.
I got one more hot take. More hot take.
Okay.
Eastern Michigan is going to be a bottom 3 team this year.
Okay. Eastern Michigan. Interesting. I know they've made the big move this offseason, bringing Max Crosby in as that new like general manager type role. So that's interesting to see. Eastern Michigan's going to be a top 3. Okay. All right,
Bottom
David.
3.
Bottom 3, excuse me. Sorry, bottom 3. All right, David, those are some good hot takes. What are you going to be able to top that?
Oh, that's tough. She had a good one. I'm thinking, can Kyle Kelly go for 850 rushing yards with 10 touchdowns on the ground?
Okay.
Is that happening this year?
Oh no, that's your hot take. You tell us.
Can he?
I'm not even gonna
go ahead.
I'm
Colin.
spot on with you. I think it's just that's a warm take. That's a warm take.
That's a warm take, but okay. I guess let me say that with is he doing that with 2,700 yards passing with 20 yards or 20 touchdowns passing as well? That's my big hot take.
Yeah, Colin threw similar numbers to that to him when we interviewed him.
Yeah, so I'm thinking DeQuan Finn numbers from a couple years ago, maybe.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right, I like those all.
That's how we go 8-4.
Okay. Now my hot take is not as hot as it was before this recording started, but my hot take is we win 2 non-conference games. I don't know which 2, but that means I think we beat New Hampshire, and I think we beat one of the 3 of Purdue, Auburn, or UConn. I'll be in the house for the UConn game, so hopefully it's that one. But I think we come out of conference play at least 2-2. That's my hot take, which is not as hot because you all predicted that. So it's not as hot as where I started. So, okay. Like I said, we're posting this today. Today is the first day of basically the season. It's the first day of fall practice. So I'm excited to see what we have coming this year. Before we kind of wrap up, does anyone have anything else they want to say about a prediction or just their general feelings for this upcoming season? David, do you have anything else?
Nothing. Just excited, and I'm focused on Purdue, and I'm excited for that game.
That's right. We're focused on Purdue. I like it. Colin?
Yeah, really just my not so hot take is that, guys, keep supporting the brand, keep building with us. Like, the support we're seeing is crazy. Keep going, we can keep delivering. Each week's going to get better. We're just trying to build here, so keep supporting throughout this season. We're really going to be going to every game, trying to show our faces, be available, be present. Show us some love, comment, like, subscribe. Just keep us going. Keep us going.
That's right. Yeah. I'd like to hit, like I was saying a minute ago, I'd like to hit some of these subscriber goals. So let's keep going, and we'll do some fun giveaways at some point. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and tease next week's episode right now for everyone out there because it's a big one. Next Wednesday, we'll be dropping the episode interview with Ball State Athletic Director Jeff Mitchell. So if anybody has anything that they would like to say or ask Jeff about, leave it on a comment somewhere in any of our social media platforms, and we will comb through those and get the best ones to him. I have some takes I'm going to give him. I'm going to give him some suggestions. We're going to do suggestion hour with Jeff Mitchell and see, and have him do thumbs up or thumbs down on some of these suggestions I have for him. So they're nothing really too crazy. Everyone's probably heard them if they've watched the show, but we have some good stuff for him. So yeah. That's about all we have today here at this episode of Ball State of the Union. Again, if you wouldn't mind, on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, be sure to interact with the show, like all the shows where we post them, subscribe, comment on them. Be sure to follow David at BSU Edits on Instagram and Colin at Ball State FB Talk on Twitter, and me at John Clausen 17. And yeah, I love doing the show with you guys, and I'm excited to see where the season goes. So until next time, everyone out there, just keep on chirping. We'll be talking to Jeff Mitchell next week. Thanks.